You're listening to Win the Day with James Whittaker.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Broadcasting from Los Angeles, California. Here's your host, James Whittaker.
Let's go!
Welcome to my fourth annual holiday gift guide. Each year I outline the items that have made the biggest impact in my life throughout the year, and I know they'll do the same for you or for someone else if you're giving it as a gift. If you're new to the holiday gift guide, it always revolves around books. Why? Because there's a massive surplus of cheap, crappy gifts that are forgotten shortly after they've been received, and a massive deficit of people accessing things that are truly going to change their life forever. For tips on improving your reading specifically, check out episode 54 of the Win the Day podcast with Read to Lead author Jeff Brown. We cover speed reading, how to find the best book for you, and the best way to read for maximum absorption. For people who struggle with traditional books, I highly recommend audiobooks because they're more engaging. But the most important thing is that you keep up your learning no matter what method you use. Now, even though I love audiobooks, anytime I find a book that really speaks to me, like some of the ones you can see up here if you're watching this video on YouTube, I am sure to grab a copy of the hardcover version too, so I can use it as a quick reference point whenever I need it. And the number one book I have read this year is actually an audiobook, as you'll see soon. Filling your mind with the knowledge you need is the best way to transcend your circumstances so you can achieve whatever you want in life, regardless of what's happened in your past. Every single book, every single one of them, every single book I have read has changed my life in one way or another. So that hunger for learning should hopefully be a priority for you too. Without further ado, here are the books that I think would make the best gifts this holiday season for you, a friend, or a loved one. I've even expanded it into a few other categories too because of a few life changes, as you'll see shortly. Before we dive into the good stuff, let's touch on today's quote, which comes from elite psychologist Dr. Michael Gervais. Mike says, "High performance is 90% mental, and most of that mental edge comes from being able to control your thoughts." Powerful stuff, that quote. And what's the best way to control your thoughts? Read epic books and listen to podcasts like this one. And in this episode, you get the best of both worlds. Remember that the right bit of inspiration can completely change the trajectory of someone's life. So if there's a friend or loved one out there who needs to hear this episode or could use some help to win the day, share it with them right now. All right, let's get into our ultimate holiday gift guide. The best book overall is Compete to Create by Dr. Michael Gervais and Pete Carroll. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is the best book I have read in all of 2021. So much of my professional life has been about studying the happiest and the most successful people to find clues in their journeys. And one of the biggest commonalities is how they are able to attach meaning to almost all their actions. This enables them to push through the suck during the tough times while reaching for loftier heights during good times. In Compete to Create, Mike shares some incredible quotes, such as, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose." Let's play that quote back because I think it's a really important one. Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by a lack of meaning and purpose. That quote comes from Viktor Frankl. Another great quote that Mike shares in Compete to Create is, "Your vision will only become clear when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." That quote comes from Dr. Carl Jung. But it's the specific framework that Mike and Pete share around self-mastery that makes the most impact. Now, I have thousands of words. I'm not kidding, thousands of words of notes from this one book alone. And rather than me paraphrase it for you, I'd rather you simply go and grab a copy of it or give it to someone else so you can experience it firsthand. You'll learn a ton of research-driven information about things like how to find your passion, the optimal morning routine, and the proven steps to self-mastery. All of this stuff is research-based. There's even some valuable steps on how to achieve harmony in the home that I found particularly useful. For example, taking a partner's feedback as information rather than attack, which might help in some of those more emotional conversations that you have with your partner. So grab a copy of Compete to Create now. It is only available in audiobook, but Mike and Pete both narrate it personally, so I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out episode 61 of the Win the Day show for our interview with Dr. Michael Gervais. The The best book for performance, which is a great complement to that first book, is The Art of Impossible by Stephen Kotler. The Art of Impossible by Stephen Kotler, the book that I'm holding here in my hands if you're watching this on YouTube. Stephen is one of the top peak performance researchers in the world, and his new book, The Art of Impossible, is designed to help us understand how capable we are and then presents a framework to unleash that peak performance. It's got some incredible examples of real-life people like Elon Musk, Laird Hamilton, Kristen Ulmer, Tim Ferriss. All of these people are mentioned, and there's so many practical steps on how you can perform at your best. There are so many gems in this book on peak performance, and I highly recommend it. That is The Art of Impossible by Mr. Stephen Kotler. The next book on our list is the best book for the mental battle during COVID. Now, on a side note, I believe that literally 100% of people have either experienced a significant moment of soul searching or depression, or maybe a combination of both during the last 2 years while we've been affected by COVID. So it's a good reminder for us to be conscious of what steps we can take to perform at our best, and also how our energy affects the meaning we attach to any given situation. So the best book for the mental battle during COVID is a timeless classic. It's this one here, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Dr. Carol Dweck. This year on the Win the Day show, we've interviewed numerous individuals who have built businesses that are doing more than $100 million in annual revenue. And in almost every case, this is the book they recommend, Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. It's not just a mental primer for the founders themselves, they make it required reading for their entire team and those who join their team. Now, that alone should tell you something. So if you want to know how to cultivate a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset and thrive in the adversity that we've all experienced, particularly in the last 2 years, this is the book for you. So grab a copy of this one here, Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. By the way, I should mention this, all of these books will be linked in the show notes so you can quickly find them. We have a new category this year, the best book for kids. And look, I wish I'd included children's books on these lists previously. Having a 2-year-old, and we've got another one on the way in January, means our family has spent a lot of time reading children's books this year. We love all the books by Julia Donaldson, books like Room on the Broom. We love all the books by Australian author Alison Lester. She's written books like Magic Beach and Bigsy, but the one we most enjoyed was written by a lesser-known author. Her name is Lizette Lent, and I have a copy of this right here. It's called We're Not So Different After All. Now, I first met Lizette on an audio social app called Clubhouse earlier in the year. I'd never crossed paths with her previously, and she mentioned this book to me. I love the premise of it. Now, the idea of anyone being treated differently, especially for something outside of their control, it's tough for any parent to swallow. And if you're a parent, I'm sure you can relate. Now, this book is exactly the type of thing that I wanted to expose our daughter Sophie to and that she would read and enjoy. And Lizette wrote it to share the real-life experiences of her daughter Maggie, who was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder, and that's her on the cover. This book does a great job of raising awareness for children who are living with special needs and disabilities, and it teaches the importance of treating others with kindness and compassion, because sometimes kids, let's face it, can be a little obvious and a little straightforward with the way that they communicate. Lizette said, diversity is a beautiful thing, and this book helps children of all ages understand that just because someone may look or act differently, our similarities outweigh our differences. And I think that's where the world needs to be focused rather than on trying to ostracize everyone else. Fortunately, with good news for me, this book very quickly became my daughter's favorite book. She would run up to me and she would scream, "Maggie, Maggie, Maggie," and she would just sit there waiting for me to start reading the book. So that's We're Not So Different After All by Lizette Lent, the best book for kids. And in our household, while we do read books a lot of the time, we're not just reading all the time. We do watch the occasional movie as a family, and the one movie that captured our hearts was Disney movie Luca. I hadn't even heard of this movie a few months ago, so I decided to add this new category for the ultimate holiday gift guide, the best film for kids. Luca is enjoyable for all ages. I mean, I'm 38 years old and I really enjoy it. It's got a constant stream of lessons. Some of them are very obvious, some of them are more subliminal, to help us all think differently. Now, to be honest, the first 10 minutes are a little slow, but it's super entertaining after that. So go and check out Luca, the movie Luca, on Disney+. Another category I wanted to include here is a mobile app, because there's one that's been very valuable for me this year. Now, before I share the name of it, I wanted to share a struggle of mine that you're probably not aware of. One thing I've always struggled with, particularly in the last few years, is negative self-talk. I've always found it very easy to be empathetic and compassionate to others, but when it came to my inner voice, it was very direct, very strong, and very aggressive and harsh. So in episode 29, I had the opportunity to interview Emily Fletcher, who is the founder of a meditation style called Ziva. And after that conversation, I made the decision to do 70 consecutive meditations. And I put all of that on my 2021 success plan. Now, I'm a horrible meditator. I've downloaded most of the meditation apps that you can think of, and I've deleted them just as quickly. But as many of you know who've used the success plan template, and fortunately, people in more than 20 countries have used this success plan template, it's devastatingly effective for goal achievement. So after 70 meditations, I noticed that the negative self-talk, it had bothered me for literally years, it had completely disappeared like magic. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. That was 8 months ago, and it hasn't returned. So you know what? I stopped meditating because the mission was complete. That's why I took up meditation in the first place, and it was done. And although the negative self-talk was gone, I still felt like something was missing from my morning routine. And then I remembered that a previous guest on the Win the Day podcast had mentioned a journaling app called the Day One Journal, which you can imagine had my attention because it's the same name as the Day One Mastermind that I love to run, and I'm running again soon in February. So I gave the Day One Journal a shot, but with one condition. I would do 100 consecutive days of journaling. That was the condition, 100 consecutive days of journaling. Now, these aren't small entries either. I was doing some pretty lengthy entries in this journaling app. Now, to give myself the best chance of success, I stacked the activity of journaling with another essential task that I love to do, drinking my morning coffee. So as of right now, I've done 110 days of consecutive journaling, and I've found it an immensely valuable way to start the day right. Because I do it with my morning coffee, I've never worried about missing it, and the Day One Journal app allows me to upload photos as well, so I can reflect on memories at a later date, particularly if you've got kids. I think that's really, really valuable to have. But to make it more performance-based rather than just a simple journal, in every entry, I also decided to add in 3 things that will make today a win. Super simple, but life-changing. So the best mobile app is the Day One Journal. Again, that is linked with everything else in the show notes. The final recommendation on this list, which is the best gift or gift accompaniment for everyone, is a letter or card. Now, if you've got decent handwriting, you should handwrite it because it's a bit more special to acknowledge the recipient for all the loving and selfless actions they have taken to brighten your world this year. Expressing our gratitude to one another in the long-form written medium has become a lost art. But that just means your opportunity to make an impression will be even more powerful. You've heard me say so many times before that the best way to get is to give first. So this holiday season, give someone a piece of your heart and watch the way your life changes as a result. I hope you enjoyed our 4th holiday gift guide. Remember, giving someone the ability to help themselves is the best gift. Share a comment on the YouTube version of this episode with your favorite out of all of these options, or if any of these already hold a place in your heart. Applications are closing very soon for the Day One Mastermind. If you own a business or are thinking about starting a business and want me and some special friends in your corner for 3 months, this might be the best decision you ever make. But hurry, it's strictly limited to 12 people and applications are closing very soon. I mean, the clock is ticking very, very loudly at this point. So if you would like to learn more about the Day One Mastermind and how it can help you in your business for 2022, click the link in the show notes. Finally, the right bit of inspiration can completely change the trajectory of someone's life. So if there's a friend or loved one out there who needs to hear this episode or could use some help to win the day, share it with them right now. We've still got a few episodes left of the year, but I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. It means the world to me, and if there's ever anything that I can do to help you, or if you've got a question for me, remember to jump into the Win the Day group on Facebook. The Win the Day group on Facebook, and I'll respond as soon as I can. There's more than 700 amazing people in there, and you'll find a link to join that in the show notes. Remember to get out there and win the day, perhaps by helping someone else win their day. Onwards and upwards, always.